All right, I have 6:30. Today is March 16th, and we will call this meeting to order. And then I would also request that we recess this select board meeting so that we can convene as the Liquor Control Board.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. Michael?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Sandy?
Aye.
Chris is an aye, and we are missing Jeff at this moment. So as we are here as the acting as the Liquor Control Board, we have the Coldbrook store requesting to renew their liquor license. I have spoken with the Department of Liquor Control. There has been no issues over the last year and nothing that we should be aware of or concerned about. Barring any discussion, I would take a motion to approve.
If there's no talk, I motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve Coldbrook. Let me make sure I get their name right here. Where is it on this thing?
Right at the top.
Holbrook Ice Cream and General Store, LLC.
Perfect. So to approve their Class 2 liquor license, all those in favor, please say aye. Michael?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Sandy?
No.
Chris is an aye. We will need to, with the passage of that, we will need to stop by the town office tomorrow and get signatures on this for Tim to submit it to the state, please.
Okay.
With that, I would take a motion to adjourn as the Liquor Control Board.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. And now we will resume the meeting as the Vernon Town Select Board. With that, additions to the agenda, we do have a select board member, Michael, who would like to attend some training. So I would like to add that under new business. And I will also be requesting a executive session for the appointment or evaluation of a public officer. Any other additions? Oh, thank you.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other additions? Seeing none, all those in favor, Michael?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Sandy?
Aye.
Chris is an aye. Let's see, Jeff is with us now, so good timing, Jeff. If everybody would notice on their agendas that open public comments for items not on the agenda, we're going to do this before our meetings. Before we get into the content of the meetings, and anybody that wishes to speak would have up to the 3 minutes, and we could address as necessary. Hold on, please, Brana. And going forward, we would continue to operate the meetings as we have been, that any agenda item is open for discussion from the floor. And I think that we've done fairly well about ensuring that anybody that wants to be heard or speak has that opportunity. So we'd like to continue to do it that way. So I just wanted to draw some attention to that change on there. Brana, go ahead.
Thank you. I was just wondering if you all had gotten an email, I guess, from DV Fiber about reappointing Munson, Hicks, and I to the governing board. And I could send you an email about this. It doesn't have to be, but I just wanted to remind you that we do both want to continue serving the town.
When is that appointment up, Brana?
They want the information from you by the end of April. I think it's April 26th.
Okay.
Right.
Wendy, could you make a note to have that put onto the first meeting in April? I believe that's the 6th.
Yes, and it's already planned to be there. And I did
Great.
receive the email. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Perfect.
Thank
All
you
set.
both.
Anything else, Brana?
No, that was it.
Okay. Mary Lynn, are you waving at me? Hi.
Yeah, I'm waving at you, but I'm nicely waving at you.
Yes, yes, which is totally different for you. I appreciate that.
It's in mixed company, so, you know. I just wanted to put out there and let people know or remind people that there's the preschool fundraiser, corned beef and cabbage dinner Saturday. So if you hadn't seen it on the Vernon page or the JSpec page or my Facebook page, it's out there and I'll put it out again. So if you want to sign up, let me know. They weren't able to do any fundraising or anything this year. So I got with Linda and she said, well, let's do it. So
Perfect. And how do they go about ordering that, Mary Lynn?
you can contact me, 275-7501. Or that's either my cell phone number or you can let me know at the shop either. We'll do it that way too.
Awesome.
Or Linda, you can let her know. She'll
Okay.
get it.
Great.
So we're doing 1 to 6 on Saturday.
1 to 6?
Yes,
Okay, great. Thank you.
thank you.
Any other public comments? Seeing none. Mr. David Emery and Mr. Mark Snow are joining us yet again. It feels like we see you guys almost every other week for over a year now.
Well, I think you're absolutely correct, and I'm going to miss these meetings. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, and everyone on the board. Just a quick update on the COVID stuff. Things are changing, you know, and I said earlier, the snow's melting and the days are getting longer and people are becoming vaccinated. And that's all good stuff in my book. So having said that, today's stats are 53 new cases, 24 in the hospital, 3 in ICU, and unfortunately we have 215 deaths in the state of Vermont. Good news is there's 152,754 people that have been vaccinated. 82,000 of those have had both vaccines. There's fewer cases in the 70 and above age group. So obviously the vaccines are working. Long-term healthcare facilities, the numbers are down from positive cases. It appears as of today, Vermont could see an additional 800 additional doses of vaccine this week and next week. The governor's, quote of turning the spigot, he turns a little bit more each week, and I'm sure that you're aware that restaurants have opened up a little bit more for more people. Unfortunately, the last week, Vermont has had weekly high tests in the hundreds. So with that being said, today's 53 is good news. Here's the quote from the governor today says, things should be back to normal on July 4th. Then the question, what is normal? So the normal that he sees is that hopefully we'll be able to travel in the United States freely, and you won't have to quarantine. So there should be a lot less limits of what you can do. That's his prediction. And if things keep going the way they're going, everyone feels that's possible. Everyone is cautiously optimistic. The rec department and schools and baseball are opening up for registrations, and some of that is all taking place. So needless to say, there's good things. However, you can't get away from wearing your mask. As a matter of fact, there's new guidelines out saying you should fit your mask. So on the CDC and the state guidelines are telling you to look at your mask and see if you can get it to fit a little bit tighter. Or if you go on, they have some recommendations on double masking. you can't let down, folks. We're that close to winning this game. So the masks, washing your hands, and social distancing are still there. One of the things is back in March, Vernon declared a state of an emergency. So I'm going to do some more research for our next meeting and probably be coming back with a recommendation that we drop the state of emergency. But let's see where the numbers go in the next couple of weeks and take it from there. And at that point, I would turn over to my counterpart, Mark Snow.
Thank you, Dave. Hi, everyone. Just a couple quick items. The vaccine is people who are 16 and older with certain high-risk health conditions, along with people who are 65 and older, are eligible to make appointments now. So those individuals that meet that criteria should, if they choose to, contact the number or online to sign up for their shot. Testing is still happening throughout the state. People can go on to the healthvermont.gov COVID website to find locations where the testing sites are located. I would recommend that anytime anybody feels ill or feels a little off and is wondering if they may have it, I would certainly recommend getting tested. That's pretty much what I have for this evening. I believe Dave has done a great job over the last year and so, as well as you folks and everybody else of doing their part to win this battle. And like Dave was saying, we're almost there. Let's keep it up for a while longer so that things can turn back to normal. Thank you.
Mark, I would extend that to you as well. You've been a solid fixture throughout this past year and greatly appreciated. So thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for David or Mark Snow?
I just wanted to add, I got an email from White River that says they have enough vaccines for all veterans. So if anybody's a veteran, to call White River.
Great news.
Anything else? Seeing none, gentlemen, we are all set. Well, I take that back. Mr. Snow, we are all set. Mr. Emery, I'm going to turn the floor back over to you, sir.
Okay, well, thank you. Before I get into that short report, under new business is the LEMP, the local emergency plan. Do you want to do that now or do you want to wait until you get there? And I'm good either way.
Is there any objection from the board in doing both of these at once and letting Mr. Emery enjoy an evening without us?
Go for it.
Fine.
No objection.
Seeing none, go ahead, sir.
Okay, so the emergency management office, as you all have come to know and it has a whole different face than it did 2 years ago when our primary responsibility was Vermont Yankee. Not saying that Vermont Yankee isn't in our foresight, because it is. However, the COVID has turned that office into a different look, in which we anticipated would take place call it all hazards planning. So we're focusing more on that and obviously been focusing on COVID. The bad news is we haven't had training sessions, exercises, or meetings. So I'm hoping that on or before or into July, or once we can start doing that again, our whole group will reseat and set some goals and decide where and what we need and who we need and how we need to do that. So that's kind of a plan, as rough as it is. Can't make a ton of plans till we get through this COVID thing. The other thing is reviewing and maybe relocating the EOC. That's been on the table for a while, and we haven't resolved it quite yet. There's 2 locations are still sitting out there, one being the town hall and the other one being the FD. Both of them come with some work that would need to be done. The town office would need generator auxiliary power and some work done to the downstairs facility to provide 24-hour service for the people that would be there. And what that would mean is taking one of the closets and adding a shower and sleeping quarters. But the facility, the town hall, has that. The biggest hump there is auxiliary power. We would need to put up some antennas for radio communication. The firehouse, as you know, has the radio communication and the antennas and the generator. However, we would have to build an addition onto the building. So I think that our past plan is to take advantage of the town hall. It was built, and when it was built, it was intended for the emergency management to be there, and it used to be there down in the big room. If you've noticed, was phone jacks all the way around it because there were tons of phones and stuff down there. So I won't bore you with more of that, but in a nutshell, that's the whole thing for the Emergency Operations Center, the EOC right now, EM Emergency Management. And I would entertain any questions or anything that anybody has that I can help you with, or.
Chief, is there there's no showers at the VFD right now, is there?
That there is not.
Okay.
There is not. And the other thing our office does is we meet and we are part of the school's emergency planning. So we meet regularly with the school and work with them on their emergency planning for everything from evacuation flyers to active shooter things, the whole 9 yards. So we're part of that also.
Great. Any questions from the board?
Chris,
Yep.
is there any concern about the proximity of the railroad to either of those places?
Actually, Sandy, both of them are concerns, both places.
Okay.
As you know, from the firehouse, you could reach out the back window and shake hands with the engineer as he goes by. And from the town hall, you got, about the same thing. The difference is the town office has the Miller Crossing, and the Miller Crossing becomes more of a possible hazard. However, that crossing is a signaled crossing with gates and etc. Where other crossings, the one down by the firehouse, there's a crossing there that goes over that is not gated, doesn't have any signals. So that becomes a little more of a hazard. And yes, there's a lot less traffic, but it only takes one crash. So having said that, there was we looked at the recreation department to see if that was feasible. And that would probably be the most expensive way to go there, because it doesn't have, it doesn't have anything there as far as heating and all of that stuff. It doesn't have furnaces and stuff. So that would be the most expensive way to go. However, I can assure you that we as a group would be more than willing to have people throw spots out at us, because I don't think we should rule them in. We should take them and then rule them out for whatever reason. and then it's easier to make decisions with more information. So if any of you have any spots that are possible suggestions, one of the things we didn't want to do is take property off the tax rolls. So we were more focused on staying within the town property. And that's where we're at. You know, we really haven't given a thought until it just popped into my mind now, because I don't think it was available even, is the Governor Hunt House. I don't know if that's something that we should look at. That puts us a little bit further away. But to be away from a railroad in Vernon is almost impossible. Because if you really look at it, you should be at least a mile away from a tracks, and I'm not sure we could do that anywhere.
Yeah.
The
Your
tracks
house?
My house.
Yeah.
No, I'm not actually. I can hear the trains from here when they go over, over the bridge by Bushnell's. Yeah. So, and by the way the crow flies, I'm not a mile away from that.
Oh,
I'm just
all right,
a mile
all right.
from the Mass. I'm just a mile from the Mass border, though. So, anything else I can, and don't hesitate if there's my email is vernonemd at Gmail. So don't hesitate. My phone, if you call the office number, it rings it tells me there's a message there. So whatever you have questions or you just want to call up and, shoot the breeze, I'm up for that one too. But don't hesitate to contact me with any questions.
Thank you.
Kat, I see a question. Go ahead. I can't hear you. You're. Nope. Are you able to type it into the chat? I don't know the history. Why did the EMD move from the town offices is the question, Chief.
Well, that was BD. That was before David. And I'm not exactly sure why they moved there. I think probably because of the space needs at the town office when the police department was there and they took over a majority of that space. So that's what I'm assuming. However, I would have to defer to some of the long-term experts here. But that's what I would guess, is that the space was limited and not available.
Sandy, do you have any further insight on that?
No, that's before my time too.
Oh, okay.
I think it
And it
was,
was definitely before my time.
yeah.
Mary Lynn, I see your hand. Go ahead.
The kindergarten also went down into
Oh,
that
that's right.
space, and they
Yep.
were there for, I don't know, many, many years. And then there was that back stairwell that went up to the library that's down there, and the kindergartners go up to the library, and they were down there for a long time. So the ED wasn't down there very long at all after the building was put in. And
Okay.
then they moved to the fire station, and then the kindergarten, then the preschool the kindergarten went to the school and the preschool came in.
Right.
So,
In Kat, just to the fire station, there was some air quality issues down there, which is why that got moved. And most recently, was it Entergy that gifted us that building or allowed us to use that, or was that still VY? At any rate, they allowed us to use the building that's on Governor Hunt Road. And with the decommissioning nearing the end, it's time for us to think about what we're going to do when we don't have that building. All right. Chief, you want to get into this LEMP plan?
Yep. It's the LEMP. The LEMP is Local Emergency Plan. I think that you all have it in your hot little hands. And what that does is, what the LEMP actually is a notification plan. It's a quick synopsis of how we would operate under emergency conditions with the state, et cetera, contacts, lists of equipment, and all the way down. It's called by the state. The feds require it. The state focuses in and it be approved by the state. And then it comes down and it has to be approved by the Board of Selectmen. And then from there, I should say, once I have it, I send it to Wyndham Regional. Wyndham Regional, by the way, gave me approval just this afternoon, said it's done, good. And so now it gets submitted to you, and you need to look at it and sign it, and then we forward it back to the state of Vermont, and the state approves it. If we don't have that, and if you remember a year ago, we did with Lisa Sabeto, the plan, the hazard mitigation plan, and to be eligible to receive grants and funding for the town, that plan has to be intact and approved. What you're seeing today is the only thing that has changed in that plan since last year are names. And obviously dates. So, with the new fire chief and the assistant chief, et cetera, that's the only thing that has changed. However, when we regroup, I would suspect some of that will change names also. Some different people will be probably doing that.
So you're saying that at your reorganizational meeting that some of this other, the names or contacts could potentially change?
Yeah, I'm going to suspect that, some people have been on the emergency management committee for short of, well, how long's VY been in? Short of 50 years. And we need to relook at what we need to do. There's some functions that we still have to have and some that we don't. And I know that there's probably a few people that would like to step down. However, I'm not going to say that who they are because I don't know. But as we regroup, so names there would change in that. As I mentioned, that was a short form. Within, I think it's 2 more years, we need to do the long form, which is a very extensive plan, emergency planning. It actually will require us going into businesses and facilities and having hazard mitigation or hazardous response plan for everyone. Take the post office, for instance. That building will require in the offices that we be more involved with that. There's this thing called through that emergent or hazardous materials thing. It's called SARA Title 3. It's reporting of hazardous materials, which will incorporate more in that plan. For EHS is extremely hazardous substances. So we will have to look at all of our businesses in town and work more and be sure that all that reporting stuff is up. So that's where we're going in the next few years. And that's it. Other than that, I would ask that if there's questions, if not, your approval, and I will get it. They told me today that you don't actually have to sign it. They'll accept your typed signature on there, as long as it shows in the minutes that it was approved. So,
Sandy, I see you. Go ahead.
I believe that Chris's name should be on there under POC 2.
okay. And I don't
It's
have.
supposed to be the chair of the board.
So Sandy, under notification, his name is in that plan. However, I didn't bring it up to look at it right now. I will make sure that is added in the appropriate spots.
Thank you. Ha, Chris.
Any further questions on this? If not, I would take a motion to accept with corrections.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Ms. Carr. Jeff, you're a little slow this evening.
Yeah, I am. Sorry.
Yeah. All those in favor.
I'll be
please
quicker
say
next
aye.
time.
Yeah. Michael,
Aye.
Jean,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Sandy,
Aye.
and Chris is an aye. All right, Chief, we'll get some corrections on there or from you, and then we'll get a signature to you, and you're all set.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, next, I'm looking to approve the minutes from the organizational meeting, which was held March 2nd.
Mr. Chair, I move we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. Michael,
Aye.
Jeff,
Abstain.
Jean,
Aye.
Sandy,
Aye.
Chris is an aye. Next on to the bills and warrants, please.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve payment of the following warrant. 18T Accounts Payable, $41,196.70. 9S Payroll, $7,688.60. 10S Payroll, $6,684.03. And ratify 17T Accounts Payable, $22,308.30. 7S Payroll, $7,929.48. And 8S Payroll, $9,401.41.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Ms. Harris. All those in favor, please say aye. Michael,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Jean,
Aye.
Sandy,
Aye.
and Chris is an aye. All right, where are we on this thing? Next, new business. We are all done with the LEMP plan. Number 2, we are going into the appointments of Library Board of, appointment to the Library Board of Trustees. And let me find the, so I'm just going to read this. This is from the chair of the Library Board of Trustees. I'm writing on behalf of the Vernon Free Library Board of Trustees to recommend that Ellen Hardy be appointed to fill the unexpired library trustee seat, and that Kristin Bratton be appointed to fill the unexpired library trustee seat vacated on January 7th. These are good. These appointments would be good until town meeting. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So that is the request from the Library Board of Trustees. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Mr. Root. All those in favor, please say aye. Michael?
Aye.
Jean?
I recuse.
Sandy?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Chris is an aye. So you are all set on that one. Next, yep,
We have a misspelled name though in this letter.
okay.
Kristin is with an I, not an E. Kristin.
Wendy, are you all set with that? Okay, awesome. Next, under new business, we did receive some information about some select board training that's available. There is money budgeted for that yearly because of COVID. We really didn't use much of it last year. So Michael would like to gain some knowledge and training moving forward. So and correct me here, I'm not sure, was there a specific, was this for the select board? Oh, what the heck's that called?
It's online training.
The training for new select board members, yes.
Okay,
New annual.
so could I get a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. There's Jeff. All those in favor, Michael, you,
Nice.
Jeff,
Aye.
Jean,
Aye.
Sandy,
Aye.
Chris is an aye. All right. Next, unfinished business. We are looking at the approval of agreement with Stevens and Associates for planning services per recommendation of the Planning Commission. We do have representation from the Planning Commission, as well as we are joined. Has everybody had a chance to look that over?
Yes.
Yeah.
And do we have questions, Martin or Mark, anything that we'd like to add here for consideration?
Well, just, we recommend that you do it. We had a nice conversation with the folks from Stevens. We sent out about 30 proposals or requests for proposals. As it happened, they were the only ones that submitted anything. But, you know, they're local, they're known, they're very good. So we're very comfortable with this proposal.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Sandy.
I move we approve the proposal by Stevens and Associates as presented for sum not to exceed $22,550.
Second.
Hi, Jeff.
Aye.
All right, so we have a motion to approve the expenditure not to exceed $22,550 as proposed by the Planning Commission. All those in favor, please say aye. Michael?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Sandy?
Aye.
And Chris is an aye. All right. All set. Was there any further discussion, questions, comments on that? Mark, thank you for being here and being available. Should there had been any, we appreciate seeing you.
Thank you. We're very excited about working on it with you guys.
Great. Have a great night, sir.
Thank you.
Next, the consider amendments to the capital plan for fiscal year 21-22. Linda typed up quite well, the entire capital plan committee had submitted some numbers and kind of spelled it out for us. That was in everybody's packet. I'm assuming we've all had a chance to look that over. If there is any immediate questions, I would open the floor to that. Otherwise, I'm going to ask Linda to speak on this, please. Seeing none. Linda, do you have anything you want to tell us?
Yes, I was in contact with Alex over the $15,000 that wasn't spent for the defibrillator, the life pack. And let me get to that just a second. Okay, his response to me yesterday was that they would like more time and would like us to leave the $15,000 because they want to evaluate the town's needs for any defibrillators in any departments, like the preschool, the rec department, the fire department, the police department. And at this time, we are going to recommend that we give them a little bit more time since They had that fire that took up some of their time, and they're trying to get reorganized. But it's not going to make a huge difference to the amount of tax that we collect, and then it's already been appropriated.
Where did the life pack that was purchased last year, where did that come out of?
That came out, we had $30,000 that we raised.
Okay. All
We
right.
asked for. We bought one, and they used money also from somewhere else, but I don't remember where, because they didn't have enough at the time that they wanted to buy it. And then after they bought it, it became obsolete, or they weren't using that kind of system anymore or something in the ambulances. So he wants to take time to
I'm sorry.
review.
The $15,000 life pack that JJ Wielden came and requested last year.
Right.
We approved the $15,000.
And we
is
bought it.
obsolete, and we just wasted all of that money?
Well, no, it's good for now, but you can't get any parts for it, I understand. Now, I might be wrong, but that's what I understand.
Wow. I am so glad that he pushed us so hard, and he wanted 2 of them, and we only
Had 2 of
approved
them.
1.
Right, so
Unreal.
that's why the money is there. And what I told him, hold on and let me get that email. I told him that the money was raised for, hold on here, back on my email thread. I said, we spoke on February 18th about this money needing to be returned to the capital plan if not being spent for EMT monitoring equipment. That was the purpose it was raised for. You were going to talk to your department people and get back to me. I know how busy you are, but I haven't heard from you. We're going to be proposing to the board on March 16th that the money be returned to the capital plan to reduce the amount of money that needs to be appropriated. And then I did hear back from him. Thank you for following up with this. We discussed it. Can it be used for purchase of multiple AED units to replace the aging AED units that we currently have? If we can use it for this, is there a minimum purchase? So I sent back, told him that according to the capital plan, the minimum purchase is $10,000. And then the thing, we're evaluating what we currently have. We may need a little more time. So our recommendations is to give them a little more time, but that's up to you guys.
So in the capital plan, each of those, I see a Mary Lynn, each of those AEDs would be a separate item. Are they able to group those together?
They can aggregate them together because
Okay.
it's all the AEDs, defibrillators.
Okay. Perfect. Thank
So
you.
they can
Mary
make
Lynn?
a purchase of how many ever.
Okay.
But I also told him, I don't want him just to go out and say, oh, we need 10, so they get to $10,000. I said, you have to justify what you're getting.
Sure. Okay. Mary Lynn, go ahead.
I know it took them a while because they went around to everywhere and pulled AEDs that were, the batteries were no longer of any use to them. For instance, like there were 3 in the police department. They were no longer usable. They pulled them out of there. And there were some other ones around town too that were of no longer use, that had not been kept up, that were no longer, we weren't even sure who they belonged to. So it has taken them a while to round up all these things, and trying to get everything else organized and done and set up that needs to be done down there, and work. So.
And that's why we're recommending that we don't, give them a little more time. We're not asking to raise any more money. The money's already raised. And if you took it away, we just have to raise it, and it would take 2 more years before they could get anything, as opposed to them trying to get up and going and get everything done properly.
Right, because we've we've discussed those fire extinguishers, all that have been in our discussions.
See, it can't be used for fire extinguishers. It can
No, I
only be
wasn't
used for the defibrillators.
That I'm just saying it's been
Yeah.
in our discussions.
Yeah.
To get them up to speed and everything as well.
Sure. That money, as you've said multiple times, is appropriated. It's there for one use and one use only. We could certainly give them more time, but I'm comfortable making a motion that we approve that money stays there. And if they need it next year, it's not going to affect taxes in any way. So I would make the motion that we just allow that money to flow.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, Michael,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Jean,
Aye.
Sandy,
Aye.
Chris is an aye. So there, he's got all the time he needs now, Linda.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for understanding.
Yeah, no problem. Is there anything else on here that we should be discussing or you'd like to touch on, Linda?
Just to remind you, to the original one that we did add at the last time, the oil-fired furnace of $58.50 this year, $58.50 next year. We increased the fuel tank from 10 to 15 and did that across the board. We also added the sanitary waste and vent riser for $5,000 this year, $5,000 next year. And the pole mounted lighting, we added $6,000, $6,000 and $5,670
Okay.
for the third year.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions, comments, concerns for Linda? Wendy, I see your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to let the board know and the capital plan committee just remind you that the current capital plan which is in the town report on page 15, it had a total to be raised by taxes of $15,155. So
Yes, it did. And we'll have to, at town meeting, we'll have to either send something out in advance or send a written thing, because that's what we agreed to.
Yes, I
That once
understand.
this was done, and we'll let people know that it says 15,155. However, because of the additions of the oil-fired furnace, the sanitary waste, and the pole-mounted lighting, and changing the in-ground tanks back from 10 to 15, it's now 37,005.
Right, so that can either be a separate item on the warning, or it can go into the general taxes, and the select board can make that decision, the final decision at the April 6th meeting. But the warning is on your agenda for tonight, so I'll just remind you of this again at that time.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. Thank you all very much. Tom, Sandra, Linda, and Kate, you're on that committee as well, right?
That is, yes.
Yes, okay. All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight and updating us with this information. And I know that we've gone back and forth a lot, and it's appreciated you guys hanging in there with us. So thank you.
That's all right. It's done.
All right.
Good, Wendy, right?
All right.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Now, consider amendments to the 2021 proposed budget if necessary. We made no changes there, so we are all set, correct?
Yep.
All set. Next, Wendy has been working extremely hard on getting, trying to do what we had asked as far as combining cleaning and maintenance and lawn care and all of that happy stuff under one umbrella. So I'm going to turn this over to you, Wendy, and touch on that, and then we'll take it from there.
Sure. Yes, I have been trying. And now the summer is upon us, so it's important to get this out for the landscape services in particular. I sent you a request for bids in your packet. Since I sent that, I found more detailed RFPs on the files in the computer that we have. So what I'm doing now is I'm making those specifications more robust and combining the existing contract language and the especially the description of the services. So in order to get it to you at the first meeting in April, we'll need to advertise it tomorrow if we can, and the bidders would only have 2 weeks to prepare, which is very tight. They're fairly standard services, so I think they could do it. And I'm willing to do that. If you want to postpone to the or schedule that for the second meeting in April, it'd be easier for the bidders, but then we run into problems with ramp up before the summer. So I'm inclined to stick to the tight schedule and make a good attempt. If we don't get good responses, I could adjust and let you know, but I think it's still worth trying for the fast-paced schedule.
So if those went out tomorrow with 2 weeks, that would be the 31st, huh?
Right. I mean, they're fairly standard services, so even when companies have a month, typically they don't take the whole month to do it. It's just helpful if somebody's out of town or something that,
Sure.
you know, they'll have time to do it.
The board's pleasure.
So what you're saying is, you're gonna do up more than what we got in our packet here, more detail on what we want them to do.
Yes.
Okay.
I won't change the requirements, but for example, the spreadsheet that I gave you is more detailed than the first spreadsheet that you saw
Right.
and approved a few weeks ago. But I've just, since I prepared this, I found documents that we have that I'd like to use. You know, I'd like to take advantage
Right.
of them.
Right. Well, that sounds good. I guess we can try it, see if there's any nibbles out there.
Yeah. All right. Anybody care to make a motion on this?
I move that we allow Wendy to send out what she feels is appropriate.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Mr. Dunkley. All those in favor say aye. Michael?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Sandy?
Aye.
Chris is an aye. All right, Wendy, you're all set. We have remote school tomorrow, so I should be relatively available. If you have any questions or need anything for that, please.
Terrific. Thank you.
And while I'm still thinking about the fire department, could we please invite the fire chiefs to the April 6th meeting for the update?
Yep.
All right. Next, we have the approved select board rules, conflict of interest policy, confidentiality agreement, which was tabled from March 2nd.
Do you want me to give a brief overview of these?
Yes, please.
Okay, so there are 3 documents. 2 of them are unchanged from what you did last year. The conflict of interest and the select board member agreement. And thanks to Jean for getting these for me. And the 3rd document is the select board rules of procedure. And I provided you in your packets a version that had some handwritten notes. And since then I updated it. And when I updated it, I found some other things that needed to be changed just to be in compliance with state law. For example, we need to post agendas in 3 places, not 2 places. And I sent that to you. I think I sent it today. So hopefully you had a chance to look at it.
Does electronic posting count if that's done on the website, does that count as a location in conjunction? No, it does not. It needs
No,
to be a
but-
physical
but-
posting.
But there is a requirement if you have an official website to post it on the website, and I added that to the
Okay.
procedure.
So then it's 3 additional actual physical locations.
Correct.
Okay.
The town office doesn't count as one.
I'm sorry, say again?
The town office doesn't count as one.
The town office is
Oh, yeah.
one, and then Coldbrook and the post office are the other
Okay.
two. And you'll
Right.
update this every year, so if something changes, and for example, if Coldbrook isn't available, you'll need to find another location.
Anything else to touch on there, Wendy?
No, that's it for me. If anyone has questions, I just hope you had a chance to look at it.
Good. Mr.
Any
Chair?
further questions or comments from the board? Yes, Ms. Harris.
I was going to make a motion that we
Sure.
approve and sign the 3 documents.
I would accept that motion.
Second,
Moved and seconded to accept the select board rules as written. All those in favor, please say aye. Michael?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Sandy?
Aye.
Jean?
aye.
Chris is an aye. Next, we need to review the draft warning for the May portion of the 2021 town meeting. Tim was going to join us this evening, but he has a different work obligation. So myself and Wendy and Tim did speak this morning about his plan for the outdoor town meeting this year. Regardless of whether restrictions lift or not, I believe it is still his desire to do it outdoors just to make sure everybody is as comfortable as possible. So as of right now, the proposed date for that would be Saturday, May 15th at 2 p.m. With a rain date of Sunday, May 16th at 2 p.m. The location he's requesting to use is going to be the area of the town gazebo, where we have parking at the town offices. We would have the power that's over at the gazebo. He's going to rent a large or 2 large tents for everybody to be under, socially distance, mask requirement, all of that happy stuff. The reason that he chose that location is that it is close to the town offices should we need restrooms. It is also close enough, or I'm sorry, the ground is flatter there than if we were to use the rec center where they would have to park in the parking lot, walk up the hill towards the basketball court, and then cross the actual road to get where he was planning on doing that. So that's the reason for the shift to this location. So he just wanted to make sure that we were aware of that as we discussed all of this. Now, with the,
So we're just gonna need to have to find somebody to mow the lawn ahead of time then.
yeah, we got a little while.
Yeah, okay.
And
Nothing else,
actually,
Jeff will come down with his tractor.
Yeah, whatever.
the library put a hotspot on that end of the building, so there could be internet
Oh, nice,
in that field.
nice.
I'm not
Perfect.
quite sure how far it goes, but it's pretty far reaching.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So this is always the fun part. We're a little bit, we got a little vacation from not having to do this, but going down through all of the town meeting articles and warnings. Generally, we split those up and we decide what the board's pleasure is this year, but first of all, we've got to approve it and take it from there. So I think we've got some time before we have to worry about splitting that up.
Mhm.
Are we seeing anything on here that needs to be corrected, added, changed?
I think the only thing is the one-time ones on the back. We would need to do the pay-as-you-throw before the curbside recycling, because if they vote for pay-as-you-throw, we have to do the curbside recycling.
Mm.
True.
Wendy, are you good with that?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you wanted to do them at all, but if you do, certainly I'll.
That's a real loaded question.
Well, yeah,
That'll bring them all out.
Yeah.
It will.
so, but I'm hearing that you do want to have them on the warning,
I would think so.
or am I? Okay. I wasn't sure. I just had them on the list because you weren't, I didn't hear it clearly.
So the pay-as-you-throw program is not recycling.
Correct. That's.
No.
I
for
think that
solid
wording needs to come out of there. It's
Oh, okay, for garbage. Okay.
yeah, trash or whatever. Because that does not support recycling. Yeah, because if they say yes to that, the second article is a given yes. You know, the recycling one is a given yes. They don't have a choice.
Right.
And then we've got to put the capital plan figures in there, right, with that correction.
Right, but can we just go back to the recycling? Because I'm still not sure. So it sounds like you do want them on the warning, the questions.
Wanting and should be there, two different things. I do feel, in fairness to the residents of Vernon, that it was made very clear last year that they would like to support this. So if nothing else, it needs to go back to them again this year.
Okay, so I'll reorder the first two and take recycling out of the pay-as-you-throw, which is right. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so the capital plan item, there's a blank there because I didn't know how much. It could be that you can just do this the way you always do it and explain that the number is different from the number that they had in the town report. I believe what's going to happen is, I wish Cindy were here. I'm not sure of the relationship between the capital plan tax amount to be raised by taxes and the general fund expenditure. I think the general fund expenditure does not include the capital plan, but I wish.
I think it does.
I would think it would have to, because that's what she bases the taxes on.
When does this need to be approved?
Next meeting, April 6th. So I can find that out.
I'm just wondering if we need to work more closely with Cindy and then invite her to the next meeting so that we can make sure that this is as clean as it can be before it goes out.
Oh, definitely. She did review this before I sent it to you.
Okay.
But the capital plan wasn't decided. So I'll use the higher numbers that we talked about today and for the capital plan. I'll fill that in, and then I'll send it to Cindy again and ask her if it needs to go into the general fund. And I can ask her to be at the meeting, and we can put it at the beginning of the meeting if you like.
What's the rest of the board think on that?
Yeah, we could finish it then, do it all at once.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. And what is the rest of the board's thoughts on the trash and recycling add in here? I kind of spoke and didn't ask anybody.
I think we should.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other, as we look over this, is there any other questions or information we would be requesting Wendy to gather in conjunction with Cindy prior to the April 6th meeting?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Senior Solutions is blank because I don't have a number.
I was
And
gonna do that.
Tim and I were searching for a request from them and we haven't found it yet, but we think that they did send a request.
Okay. I looked up and as near as I could find, I think they asked for $800 last year.
Okay.
It's in the last year's town report.
Okay. Now, my understanding is they have to ask for it every year. So if they did not send something this year, do you still want me to put funding on the warning? Or you can answer that in April if you want, after I find out.
They've been turned down consistently, so perhaps they just gave up.
Oh. And did you want the fireworks in there? I wasn't sure.
I mean, what's the likelihood that we're going to be doing anything this year anyway? In that capacity? I mean, even if restrictions get lifted, are we as a town comfortable inviting that number of people into one area just a few months after COVID is kind of...
See, this June is in this budget.
Oh, you're right.
So
Yep.
the one
Gotcha.
we're voting on would be June 22.
Yep. Understood.
Because we usually do it the end of
Yep.
June. I don't know. We could, go into our, hour-long debate that we usually do on this.
Or we could just leave it right off from there.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think kind of the consensus last year was that it had to be raised privately, donations, whatever. So let's leave it off.
I agree. Any objection from the board? Seeing none, wipe it out.
Got it.
Anything else? All right, seeing nothing, we will revisit that on the 6th of April. And I guess maybe while we have this discussion open, could we get a motion to approve Tim's proposed location of the town meeting?
Oh. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Ms. Harris to allow our town meeting for this fiscal year to be held at the town office gazebo area. And our town clerk will be utilizing his funds to make sure that we are safe and everybody is set up and covered and all of that stuff is in place. All those in favor, please say aye. Michael? I'm sorry, Jean, I see a question. Hold, please.
Well, he proposed dates, right? Should we include the
Yes.
dates?
Yep. So with that, the proposed date would be Saturday, May 15th at 2 p.m. and a rain date would be Sunday, May 16th at 2 p.m. Any objection to continuing that motion, Sandy or Jean?
No.
All those in favor say aye. Michael?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Sandy?
Hi.
Jean?
Aye.
Chris is an aye. All right, next I'm looking to go into executive session for the discussion of potential real estate purchase.
Mr. Chair, I move that the board and interim town administrator go into executive session to discuss negotiating or securing real estate purchase or lease options. 1 VSA 313A2.
Second.
Moved and seconded to enter executive session. All those in favor say aye. Michael? Jean?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Sandy?
Aye.
And Chris is an aye. We are in executive session at 7:39. We went into executive session at 7:39. We came out of executive session at 7:41. No action was taken. Ms. Harris, could you get us back into executive session? This one is going to be for The appointment or evaluation of a public officer.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I move that the board.
I'm sorry, Sandy, to interrupt. Could we bring Wendy along too?
Yes.
Thank
I
you.
move the board and the interim town administrator go into executive session on the appointment or employment or evaluation of a public officer employee 1 VSA 313383.
Second.
Moved and seconded to enter executive session. All those in favor, please say aye. Michael?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Sandy?
Aye.
Chris is an aye. We are in executive session. So we went into that executive session at 7:43, came out at 8:01. No action was taken. Sandy?
Yes, on the earlier one, I make a motion that we express our gratitude to the person who offered to buy some property, but we respectfully declined to sell it, town property.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye. Michael?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Sandy?
Aye.
Chris is an aye. Next, we are going to go into, actually, I'm sorry, Wendy, I'm going to pause for 1 second. I meant to say during the chair's remarks that we did have a pretty large scale emergency in town over the weekend, and a long-term residence was lost, the Ochmoodies, and this town has reached out. They've supported them. There was a GoFundMe page almost immediately that was over the goal. I believe that a lot of the area churches have stepped up as well. But the Ochmoodies, I remember them from when I was a kid, growing up in church and being around that family. So they've been here for a long time. And we're sorry to see that, and certainly express our support in any way that we can. And we would also like to thank the mutual aid system that was here from all over the place. And it's great to see when that actually works the way that it's intended to. So, from the select board, we would certainly like to just send our sincere, I can't even imagine. I can't, that has got to be just unbelievable. So, but this town never ceases to amaze us. They all pull together and help. We might be at each other's throats one day, but when something happens, it happens to all of us. So anyway, with that, the town admin report, please.
Okay, thank you. I have just a couple of things. Just websites up and running. We added registration for recreation programs, and we're beginning the process for online payments. That'll come to you at some point for approval. We're also developing procedures for the website and what gets posted, what doesn't. Floodplain regulations are being reviewed with the town attorney and the regional commission. There's currently 6 flood insurance policies held by private property owners, and the town does get an increased state match by being a member of that program. I'm trying to get the decision that is required ready for your April 6th meeting. It's just a heads up. We resumed staff meetings last week on a twice-a-month schedule. We're doing the alternate Tuesday from select board meetings so that we can discuss what's coming up at the next meeting. And the town clerk, Tim, asked me to report on the CUSIC scholarship. There were 14 checks for $1,000 sent out last week. And we're going to congratulate the folks who received those checks, the students on the website. I hope no one, if that's okay with everyone, to make the congratulations more public. The balance of the fund now is such that you could not provide that same level of scholarship next year. So what Tim has started doing is working on a fundraising campaign focused first on the recipients of the scholarship, because there are, as you know better than I do, many folks over years who have received this scholarship, and it's really helped them. So he's reaching out to them and has already received a donation to replenish that fund, and he'll report on that at town meeting. So those are the most important things. And then for the April 6th agenda, we'll have finalizing the warning, complete the appointments, because you actually should have had appointments on the meeting tonight. There was just the remainder of the regular appointments after reorganization. The solid waste report on the pay as you throw. You remember that was going to be on today's meeting, but they weren't ready, which was actually fine because you had plenty on today's meeting. We're going to hopefully have the authorization for a Stripe account. That's the system that our host uses for the website for processing payments, floodplain regulations, and begin discussion on the sheriff's services. So it's going to be another pretty full meeting. And that's what I have.
And we will be inviting the fire chief as well. I believe that will be a,
Yep.
there should be a lot of information coming at that time. from
And
him.
hopefully the responses to the request for proposals for the maintenance services.
Perfect. And it's been a while since we've had super long meetings. We should start getting back to those.
Sure, I can make that happen if you want.
All right. Anything else? Seeing nothing, I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Have a
Aye.
good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.